Hi, this is Linda, and this is day 8 of Focus and Calm for Kids, getting real results with holistic essentials. Today, I'd like to talk about being able to transform your own emotional stresses and your kids being able to do that too, and to pick up some that I actually left off about transforming deeper traumas. I think I covered most of what I'm talking about today on day 5. I got a little mixed up. So go back to review that. I talked about using emotional freedom technique, using playing with spaces to be able to quickly transform your own emotional stresses. Our day-to-day traumas, we can easily take care of ourselves. And I had fun yesterday at school teaching a grade 9 class, first thing in the morning, how to play with spaces, just to bring the space of something in front of themselves, and to let their hands, do whatever they would with it and create more ease. And they were interested. And it's always really rewarding when I see that kids are interested in doing something like this that is so empowering for themselves. It's easy for them. And they're like, yeah, that's cool. I'd like to not be anxious. And they all have some emotional issues that they want to take care of. These were 14, 15-year-olds. They all have something, and we all want to have more emotional ease. So what I'd actually like to look at today is some of deeper traumas. And there have been studies that show high correlation between ADHD and trauma. And it's hard to know which comes first, the chicken or the egg. In number 5 video, I talked about some everyday traumas that can be for these kids. Just going to school can be traumatic. I know it is for a lot of the kids where I've been. It's just being there is traumatic. And being different is traumatic. And for many of them, their brains do not work linearly. They work holistically. So when they're being forced, and I saw this yesterday in a class, it was interesting. Do we have to show this step? I've got it. Do I have to show it? Yes, your teacher wants to show every step in math. So some kids can arrive at the answer, but they don't know how they got there. When we force kids with a holistic kind of a brain to work in linear ways, it's really frustrating for them. And it might block them from actually accessing the knowledge that they know. That's why we have to give them a chance to work in the way that their brains work, not in the way that we think they should work. So when we talk about deeper traumas, it can be from earlier incidents in their lives. It can even go back as far as incidents that happened when they were in the womb. And it can go back as far as being from their lineage. These things can come down in their genetic makeup. Yes, traumas and other things can definitely go down the lineage. So those kinds of things. So when you're working with something deeper like that with kids, often it's easier, and with adults too, it's easier to do it with some kind of body work. And there are many kinds of things that people do for body work. I like to work with light and spaces and energies. I do powerful processes, and I'm always communicating with the body to ask what the body requires and what is most important for the body to release. So these are when you're working with something deep. And I remember with a young man, I worked with him for many sessions online, or on the phone actually. Back at that time, we didn't have an online connection. Yeah, we did, on Skype. Highly traumatic abuse that he had suffered. And it was a coaching session online, and it was empowering and amazing how well he could go in and be his own advocate in the situations. So what was happening, I was guiding him to go back in time to that situation as an adult, going into the situation with the child, and then doing whatever needed to be done. So I was just the tour guide, basically. And I've worked with other people where I'm sort of just a tour guide. So this is more work you do with adults. But body work is a way to access that kinesthetically. And when people feel like they either don't have they maybe don't have the ability or the adult awareness yet to do that, or aren't going to be interested in the process, or they maybe feel like it's recorded in their cells, and it is recorded in our cells, so we can release it that way with body work. I can't really say too much cognitively about what I do, because a lot of the work that I do is really non-cognitive. I'm intuitively working and communicating with the body all the time, and communicating with everything else and asking what's required. So when we're working with deep trauma, sometimes bodywork can be the only thing that people can receive, and sometimes doing some transformational, playing around with timelines and going back in time and coaching like that is also helpful for trauma. So that's something where, you might benefit from someone else helping. But there is the day-to-day kind of management and transformation of your emotions that anybody can do. So there's usually a balance of both. I've had lots of sessions with other people working with me, doing body work, coaching, and all sorts of things. So I do both myself. I work with coaches myself. When our emotional patterns are stuck out of balance, that throws everything out of balance. So it is crucial that we be able to do this. The kind of work that I'm talking about, where we're using energy techniques and body work, working with light and spaces and energy, this is painless, absolutely painless for people. When you dissolve something, it's gone permanently and completely and thoroughly. So that's pretty cool. It's very fast, it's very powerful. So if you haven't explored any kinds of energy techniques yet, and you might not even know what I mean by that term, please ask. There are a variety of things that you can do. There's all sorts of modalities, and this is really the cutting edge of any kind of release work that you do for yourself and release work that we do for others. You won't find this very much in the mainstream at all. So this is holistic, definitely, natural, definitely, and it's very, very empowering and it's very powerful. So check this out. I think this is an essential ingredient, being able to transform your own traumas and your own emotions with something that is quantum. Like, we're talking the cutting edge of physics, beyond Einstein. So it's very cool stuff. It's lots of science to back it up. I'm not going to go into that today, but there are lots of experiments and studies that have been done that show the efficacy of this sort of thing. And quantum entanglement theory is one, and there are many things. So that's it for today. Please join me in live online and live in Toronto. It'd be great to be able to talk to you more and hear more about what is going on with you in your situation. And you can find the dates and times and all that kind of stuff at lindalonseth.ca, LINDALONSETH.ca. And that is all there. And you can find these videos posted on Lightwork School altogether, or on Facebook, and Lightwork School on YouTube. They will be archived there and available for you to watch. Thank you for joining me today, and talk to you again. Bye for now.